Hi friends, today I want to talk to you about the system that I've been using to water my baby Adeniums, because for a while it was difficult for me to keep a system that was consistent and that it could help me remember what needed to be done next. I know there's some people say you need to keep a schedule for watering and fertilizing and and apply different types of chemicals onto your plants, um, like to keep them from bugs and things like that. But it was difficult for me to remember what needed to be done next. So I am using this system. I don't know if anybody else is using it, but it's the way that I have figured out how to make it work for me. And so I'm uploading it so that if you're going through the same issue, maybe it can help you out also. As you can see, I have here a bunch of gallons of water. Um, these water gallons are, each one has a different marking. For instance, I have here on Monday is fertilizer day. I give my baby Adeniums a water soluble fertilizer, which is higher in um, nitrogen than anything else, because at this point what they need is something that will help them boost their growth. The one that I use is for orchids and is 2014-13. The the 20 in the numbers stand for nitrogen. The P is for phosphorus, and the 13 is for potassium. And the nitrogen is a little bit higher because that's what helps the plants grow a little faster and healthier. It helps with the photosynthesis, and as they absorb the the nutrients from the nitrogen, they are um, more. It's easier for them to um, do the photosynthesis that it takes once they get exposed to the morning sun. Right here, where you see them, they're by my window that faces south, which means the morning sun is the only sun that they actually get at this point, because they're babies and they can't get exposed to too much sun. So this is perfect for them because they get water. I mean, they get sun for about 2 hours each morning. I don't have to move them from here. They're in a perfect position to get all the sun they need for that day. And I have them um, in this place where even when it's not sunny, it's still very bright, and they have they can see the day of the light day, the day of light. So this is the perfect place for them to continue to grow as they need. I have them in these shells in my south facing windows. And something that I do, because I keep them indoors, and the reason why I keep them indoors is because they're so tiny. And here in Florida, we have a lot of lizards and iguanas and other animals and bugs and things that would be not beneficial for my baby plants to be outside, because if they're outside sometimes, and I've had them outside and they do well until an iguana feels, or a lizard feels like they need to rest their belly on something wet, so they go and crawl on top of my plants, and then I find my plants all uprooted and all taken out of place, and all scattered because whatever lizard or iguana or whatever bug decided, or even frogs decided, oh, I need a place to rest and this is nice and moist. So I now keep them inside because of that. But that's only until they're grown enough to be able to stand a lizard passing by and not knocking them out. But here they get enough sunlight because each morning the sun comes up in this position, and they get perfect sunlight for a few hours. So that's on Mondays. On Mondays I do the fertilizer, and on Tuesdays I do just plain water, so that they're not, I don't fertilize them every day. I fertilize them once a week. And when the time comes, I'll show you how much fertilizer I do and how much and how I do that. But on Tuesdays it's just plain water. Wednesdays is B1. The B1, it's something that helps them, their roots to get stronger, and they also it also helps with stress. When plants have been stressed out because they have been transplanted into a bigger pot, or if they're not absorbing enough moisture or whatever, and they start getting wrinkled and feeble, um, this B1 helps with um, help them regain that strength and the moisture, and absorb the moisture and get stronger roots also. So I gave him a little bit of B1 um, once a week for the first 2 months. After the first 2 months, that's it. There's no more B1 for them. They don't need that anymore unless they're going through a new transplant and the new stress and all of that. That's the only reason, the only time when I would do it again. But for as a regular basis, when they're little, once a week for the first 2 months, and that's it. On Thursday is water again, and in Friday is anti-fungus. The anti-fungus, I give them anti-fungus because little baby adeniums, one of the things that kill adeniums the most when they're little is fungus. Why? Because they need to be always in a moist environment, which means um, their fungus is prone to attack them at any point. And since they're little, they're not very strong. So I use a fungicide that is a copper fungicide, and it's also water soluble. I'll show you how I do that, and when I do it, I'll show you when I get to it. But for now, I'm just giving you an idea of how I keep my schedule so that I remember what needs to be done next. That way I don't uh, tell myself, oh, did I do it this week? Did I not do it this week? What needs to be done? What did I do and what did I not do this week? So this way I remember what needs to be done each day. That's on Friday, anti-fungus. And then on Saturday, plain water again. And on Sundays, I give them neem oil. Neem oil is something that helps them with bugs, aphids, um, uh, white flies, spider mites, and the lichens. And it's because when they're little, and these little bugs love to suck on their baby leaves because they're very succulent. The adeniums are in the family of the succulent, so their leaves are usually very full of moisture, and the aphids and the white flies and all those bugs love to feed on them. And one day you may see your plant very healthy and strong and beautiful, and the next day you see that your plant is drying out, or is it's sucked up. And you say, well, what happened? It was very healthy yesterday, and why is it not strong and healthy and beautiful today? I'm being taken care of. Well, if it has little bugs under the leaves and you haven't noticed it, they're sucking onto your plant, and from one day to the next, your baby plant may be gone. So every day I take a moment to look very carefully at each of the plant. I look at them as much as I have plants. Um, I still take the time to look at each one as an individual, because you may have 20 that don't have anything, and you'll find one that these little bugs, these little pests are feeding on, and they're having a feast on your plant and you haven't noticed it. So you have to be very, very vigilant to make sure that your plants are well taken care of. This is the stage of the adeniums when they are more prone to diseases and to die easy. So this is when you have to work the most with the adenium. But once they have passed this stage, it gets easier. It gets very much easier. Um, Waterings is not as frequently when they're grown, but right now we have to make sure they have moisture every single day. The substrate where they're sitting on cannot get fully dry. It has to always be moist. And that's why bugs love it. And that's why fungus love it. And that's why they're so prone to rotting and dying and you have to keep a balance. You can't keep them in a extra um, watery area, but it has to be moist at all time. If you touch it and it doesn't feel moist, you have to water it that day. And for babies, I water them every day, at least twice a day, because if it gets dry, most likely they'll die. So you don't want them to die, and therefore, the only way to keep them alive and keep them healthy and strong and growing, it's to keep the moisture in their soil. So as they get older, you can start giving them water every 2 days, then every 3 to 4 days, then once a week, depending on how hot the environment is and where you live. I live in Florida. It's always hot here. When some people have in the winter snow and all of that stuff, we don't go through any of that. The temperature today is November 23rd, and today we have, I believe it's in the 80s. So in some other places, this would be ideal for anyone, and it's ideal for desert roses. They love this environment, they love the heat, they love the sun, but when they're little, that's the only time when they really need a little bit more for you to be more cautious and to pay more attention. That's one of the reasons why um, I wouldn't recommend selling them very little, because most people don't have the time to be as vigilant and to take everyday time to observe every single one of their plants, unless they just buy one or two, and then that's okay, or maybe a few. But unless you're planning to start this as your business, the very little ones are where the most work is at. So it is a beautiful job. I love it. I love every morning to get up and look, even to pull out those little leaves that have dried out. That helps my plants. See, there's a leaf that dried out. If I don't pull it, it will encourage the rest of the plant to continue drying out. So I have to pay attention to even that. Every single day I look at my plants and the the way they're standing, if they're falling down or whatever, like this one here, it was falling down a little bit, so I put a little toothpick to help it um, stay up, because if completely falls down, most likely she'll be a goner. So you have to be careful and watch their everyday move, what is going on. This one over here, as you can see, here, um, there's a toothpick there, but it's not doing anything anymore, which means she already decided, okay, I had enough of the toothpick. I can stand on my own. So now I can take that toothpick out, and she is doing fine. See? So they just sometimes need a little extra help for a few days. And once they're strong enough to stand on their own, you can pull that little extra help off. Okay? Okay. So for now, that is it, except for the way that I water my plants. Today is watering day, so this is what I use to water my plants. I use this little as it's like a little stream of water, and I use it because I want to be precise on where I'm putting the water. I don't want the water to fall always on top of the leaves, because if I over water the leaves, I may provoke rotting on the leaves and mildew and other stuff. So I just want the soil to be what receives the most of the water. And I may water a little bit of the leaves, but not all the time, just the leaves. So you have to be careful and use caution. Okay, that would be all for today. Thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed day. Happy Thanksgiving. It's a beautiful day, a beautiful morning. I give God thanks for this awesome, awesome day, for giving me the energy today to be able to do what I'm doing. I appreciate that God has given me the strength and the health to do it, because at some points there's days that I can't do it, and um, every day is a new blessing. It's a new beginning, and God is just awesome. He has been magnificent for me, and his blessings are new every day. I give him thanks for my family, for my children, for my grandchildren, for my parents, for my beautiful awesome husband, um, for my church family, and for all of you. May God continue to bless you and your family. And if you are interested in having a home-based business that is just, I mean, oh, when it comes to this new job that I'm taking, this new line of work that I'm doing, because most of the times I don't feel like I'm working. For me, it's a pleasure. I love it. I love what I do. I love these plants. I love each and every one of them. They're a miracle in the making. And to see them growing and to have a little part in it, and for God to allow me to be able to participate in what He is doing, because He's the one. I plant them and I water them, but it's God who gives them growth. It's God who takes care of them. It's God who decides when they grow, even what they're gonna be, and what color of flower they're gonna have, and how many petals they're gonna have, and everything. So every time I see one of them growing and flourishing and giving me flowers and babies and all of that, it's, for me, it's such a wonderful miracle. I love it. I just love, 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 love the creation of my Lord. And you're a part of it. God bless you richly, and your family too. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving Day. God bless you. Bye bye.